What's going on, everybody? Tom here with Keto Lifestyle, and today we are making some delicious jalapeno poppers. Now, these aren't the plain generic jalapeno poppers that you see where you're just sticking cream cheese in a jalapeno and wrapping it in bacon. We're doing a ton more with that. In fact, I've got the finished product right here. Look at these things. They're absolutely delicious. So hang on tight, and I'm going to show you how to make them. Before we start our actual cooking, we're going to need to preheat our oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That way, it's ready as soon as the poppers are. The first step in making these jalapeno poppers is to remove the stem, and then we're going to go ahead and cut them in half lengthwise. Now I'm going to set these aside for a second and finish up the rest of them. You will notice that my jalapenos are different sizes, and this is totally okay. You just want to make sure that they're not starting to age. You don't want any brown spots, them to be squishy. You want them to be bright green and firm. Once you have your jalapenos properly halved, you're going to want to get a small spoon and scrape out all of the seeds and membrane. The seeds and membrane are where the jalapenos actually hold their heat, so leaving this in there would make them far too spicy for most people to eat. That being said, I do like to add a little bit of membrane and seed back in at the end, so you'll see here at the very end once I'm scraping the last one, I go ahead and set aside a little bit of the membranes. This is so that I can chop them up and put it in my filling. Now be a little bit mindful with how much seed and membrane you actually set aside to add back in. I have in the past actually added too much and made them far too spicy for my liking. So what I would recommend is tasting a little bit and seeing how hot the jalapenos actually are, because some are much hotter than others. Now to our membrane mixture, I'm going to add 5 ounces of cream cheese. The reason it's 5 ounces is because I have 5 peppers. I find that 1 ounce per pepper is about perfect. To that mixture, I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper, just a pinch, and then about half a teaspoon of black pepper. I don't really measure my spices, but I am estimating it for you guys, and I think the estimates are pretty accurate. And then lastly, we're going to add salt. Not only does it help increase your electrolytes that you need on the ketogenic diet, but I feel like it brings out a lot of flavor. Trust me, the extra salt is needed. Though we still have one more ingredient to add to this mixture, I recommend stirring everything now. This is to really make sure we get those clumps of spices out. There's nothing worse than biting into a clump of salt or a clump of red pepper. It just doesn't taste good. And now to that mixture, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese. The cheddar cheese actually works as a nice contradiction to the cream cheese. It's a little bit more sharp and adds a little bit of color to the mixture as well. Now, here comes the fun part, and also the messy part. We're going to fill our peppers. Now, I recommend kind of pressing the filling in there because you don't want to have gaps, but also be a little bit careful of how much you use because you don't want to run out. I think that packing it in there but making it just flush with the top is almost perfect. Now here I have 5 slices of bacon that I'm going to cut in half. Again, why 5 slices? Because I have 5 whole jalapenos, which equals 10 poppers, and we need 10 half slices of bacon. Next, you'll see me dump out some toothpicks. These are going to be used to hold the bacon on. The idea being we're just going to wrap it around and make sure there's a slight overlap, and then go ahead and hit it with a toothpick. Now I am using these flat toothpicks and I really don't recommend it. Get the round ones, spend the extra money. They're sharper so they penetrate better, and honestly, they're a lot more rigid. So, time to finish up the rest of these poppers. Once you've finished wrapping and toothpicking your poppers, you're going to stick them in the oven. It should have been already preheated to 400 degrees, but wait till it is if not. And then we're going to bake them for 20 to 25 minutes. Check them after 20. Mine were finished right around 22 minutes. And now that you guys have seen how to make it, it is time for the taste test. So I'm going to grab one right here. I have them plated with a little bit of ranch, but let's try them on their own first. Now those are killer, guys. It is a little bit creamy from the filling. The bacon adds a nice crispy saltiness to it, and I think they're just hot enough. Leaving a little bit of the membrane and seeds in there is perfect. With that, guys, I'm going to close the video. If you like the video, go and leave it a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment sections. And if you have not subscribed yet, go and hit the subscribe button. Helps me out a lot, and you get to see more awesome recipes like this. With that, I will see you in the next one.